The Gulf War. The Middle East, a region where the past, present, and future collide in a vibrant tapestry of cultures, religions, and, unfortunately, conflicts. In the annals of modern warfare, the Gulf War of 1990 to 1991 stands out as a definitive moment that shaped the region's dynamics. A conflict that began with an invasion, leading to an unprecedented international coalition and military engagement that still resonates today. This episode of Chronicles journeys into this desert storm, the players, the strategies, and the consequences that followed. August 2, 1990, marked a turning point for the Middle East. The man at the helm of this change was Iraq's formidable leader, Saddam Hussein. Burdened by war debts from the decade-long Iran-Iraq War and disillusioned by disputes over oil prices and production with neighboring Kuwait, Saddam initiated a bold move. He ordered the invasion and annexation of Kuwait, a small emirate rich with oil. This aggressive expansionist policy was a gross violation of international law and sovereignty, triggering a global outcry. In response to Iraq's audacious action, an international coalition was formed under the aegis of the United Nations. Spearheaded by the United States, the coalition encompassed a spectrum of countries, including the UK, France, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and even Syria, demonstrating an unprecedented collective resistance against Iraq's invasion. The coalition's initial defensive mission, Operation Desert Shield, aimed to deter further Iraqi aggression towards Saudi Arabia, a strategic ally and the world's largest oil producer. January 17, 1991, signaled the start of Operation Desert Storm. The stillness of the desert night was broken as the air campaign, the first phase of military action, took off. For weeks, coalition aircraft flew sorties over Iraq and Kuwait, hammering strategic targets and crippling Iraq's air defenses and infrastructure. This air campaign, one of the most intensive in military history, combined superior technology and precision, laying the groundwork for the subsequent ground assault. By late February, the stage was set for the ground offensive, dubbed Operation Desert Sabre. The coalition's ground forces stormed into Kuwait and southern Iraq, clashing with the beleaguered Iraqi army. It was a swift and decisive assault, lasting only 100 hours. Outflanked and outmatched, the Iraqi forces capitulated, retreating or surrendering in droves. Kuwait was liberated, marking a significant victory for the coalition. The Gulf War heralded a new era in warfare. The coalition's technological superiority was showcased with devastating effect. Stealth aircraft, like the F-117 Nighthawk, penetrated enemy air defenses unnoticed. Precision-guided munitions, or smart bombs, hit targets with remarkable accuracy, reducing collateral damage. Night vision technology gave coalition forces a considerable advantage, enabling operations regardless of the time of day. These innovations underscored a shift in modern conflict, heralding a new era of high-tech warfare. The Gulf War stage was populated by individuals who played critical roles in shaping its course. President George H.W. Bush, a World War II veteran and former director of the CIA, led the United States during this tumultuous period. His strong leadership, diplomatic skill, and commitment to building a diverse coalition helped to form a united front against Iraq's aggression. Under his administration, the war was framed as a necessary action to uphold international law and protect global energy supplies. General Norman Schwarzkopf Jr. was the commander of the U.S. Central Command, and the de facto commander of the coalition forces. Known as Stormin' Norman for his explosive temper, Schwarzkopf was a war veteran with experience in Vietnam. His tactical acumen, combined with his ability to handle the complexities of an international coalition, played a significant role in the swift victory. His media briefings, where he detailed military operations with candor and confidence, made him a household name. On the other side, Saddam Hussein, Iraq's strongman, dominated the headlines as the antagonist. His decision to invade Kuwait, propelled by ambitions of regional dominance and economic gain, cast him as a pariah on the international stage. Saddam's refusal to withdraw from Kuwait, despite international pressure, led to the conflict. However, his ability to maintain control of Iraq even after the crippling military defeat was a testament to his ruthless and authoritarian rule. Among other personalities, Margaret Thatcher, the British Prime Minister, was instrumental in shaping the conflict. Her steadfast support of President Bush and advocacy for military action reinforced the UK's special relationship with the US. During a critical meeting in Aspen, Colorado, days after the Iraqi invasion, Thatcher famously told Bush not to go wobbly on dealing with Saddam, cementing her influence over the conflict's course. The Gulf War, despite its brevity, had far-reaching implications. Iraq was left crippled, subjected to severe economic sanctions and regular inspections for weapons of mass destruction. The war highlighted the vulnerability of the region and the importance of security cooperation among Gulf states, leading to the formation of the Gulf Cooperation Council. Moreover, the war set the stage for further conflicts, including the infamous Iraq War of 2003. As with many historical events, the Gulf War is riddled with lesser-known facts and conspiracy theories. For instance, did you know that Israel, a major U.S. ally, was explicitly asked not to participate in the war? This unusual request was due to the delicate coalition that the U.S. had built, which included several Arab nations. Any involvement by Israel could have potentially fractured this alliance. Another lesser-known fact was the role of the SAS, the British Special Forces, during the conflict. These elite troops carried out covert operations deep behind enemy lines, gathering intelligence and disrupting Iraqi communications. Their exploits, though less publicized, were crucial to the coalition's war effort. On the conspiracy front, there are numerous theories that have swirled around the conflict. Some suggest that the U.S. lured Iraq into the war, citing the controversial meeting between U.S. Ambassador April Glaspie and Saddam Hussein before the invasion of Kuwait. The ambiguity of Glaspie's statements has led some to theorize that Saddam was misled into believing the U.S. would not interfere if Iraq invaded Kuwait. Another prevalent theory involves the infamous Nayra testimony, where a 15-year-old Kuwaiti girl testified before the U.S. Congress about the horrific atrocities committed by Iraqi soldiers in Kuwait. Later revelations showed that Nayra was the daughter of the Kuwaiti ambassador to the U.S. and her testimony was arranged by a U.S. public relations firm. These disclosures have fueled speculations about the extent to which the narrative of the war was manipulated to garner public support. Whether fact or fiction, these narratives add layers of complexity and intrigue to our understanding of the Gulf War, demonstrating how every historical event is subject to interpretation and perspective. The Gulf War was a watershed event that significantly affected international relations and regional dynamics in the Middle East. It showcased a new type of warfare, altered the geopolitical landscape, and left a legacy that continues to shape the world today. The echoes of this desert storm are still heard in the current political and military tensions of the region. Our exploration of the Gulf War ends here. But history is an ever-unfolding tapestry, and there are many more stories to uncover. Stay tuned for the next episode of Chronicles as we unravel the threads of the past to better understand the present. Remember, the lessons of history are invaluable for the path forward. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on Chronicles.